So tonight, the conversation continues as we candidly talk about victimization and forgiveness. Is it even possible to even consider forgiving a person or persons who committed such a heinous, wicked, evil crime against you that impacted you and your family for the rest of your life? So let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DMB Live. I'm your host, Dr. Mike. I invite you to sit back, relax, and listen carefully to the sensitive conversation we're about to have. So let's bring in our guest, the founder of Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry, Danata Royal. Hello, Danata. Happy New Year to you, and how are you?
Happy New Year. We got through the holidays, y'all. 2023. That's right.
Amen. Amen. So, Danita, now listen to this. What I'm about to say is strictly my opinion and my opinion only. I personally think the only way to address one's victimization is to talk about it. And see
Definitely
if you can find it within yourself to forgive the assailant or assailants. With that being said, Danita, what happened to you?
Well, my son and his best friend in 2013, May 2nd, 2013, have gotten killed to gun violence. They was robbed, and I'm just gonna be transparent. Um, they was robbed of marijuana. Someone set him up to get it. He didn't sell it. He smoked it.
Okay.
And yes, yeah. So that's what happened. Him and his best friend was robbed and killed. So.
Let me ask you this. Do you know of anyone else who was in a similar situation that you were in? And what I mean by that, like, do you know of any other mothers or anybody else that was in the neighborhood, or you know personally that kind of lost a child to gun violence?
Many.
Really?
Been close friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I knew the late great Dick Gregory personally, right? And Dick Gregory once said to me that the two most powerful forces on earth are the Black churches and mothers. And you are the founder of Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry. Danita, tell us about your organization. What does your organization do?
Well, for one, we are unique. We share the same pain with other mothers who had lost their child to gun violence. And what we do is we just go and support, we encourage, we go to funerals to uplift the mothers. We go to the homes. Going to the home is really important. And we take blessing baskets, food, flowers, give it to them personally. We help with barriers, utility bills, mortgage. Because when you lose a child, it's hard to go back to work, try to pay bills, and as in our community, it's very hard. So that's one of the things that we always offer is able to help them with them barriers until they come out of, after they come through their grieving and the barriers that they have and even raising their children. So we help with so many different areas, clothing, food. We do food pantries. We know we interact with food pantries. It just goes all the way around about daily living and your
Okay.
needs. Yes.
Do you go to the crime scenes? Do you do anything like that?
Yeah, have been to the crime scenes often, and that, and that's just to encourage the mothers or the family, in that atmosphere to kind of help diffuse the anger and all.
Hostilities.
So, and we do visuals. So.
That's what I was going to ask you. When you're trying to encourage families and you show up to a vigil, I guess that is a lot of encouragement because when you're letting go the balloons, that's really a solemn event. And to be there to support people like that, it's got to be very encouraging. It's got to be.
Yeah. And I call it a celebration. I try to bring more uplifting than, but it's gonna be there. But we just try to be there to uplift.
But let me ask
And
you
bring,
this. So, Danita, let me ask you this. I didn't mean to cut you off because I want to
that's
get this in. I got to get this in because if I don't do this, I'll feel real bad if I don't ask you. Danita, before we go any further, what is your website? How can we contact you? And then once they get on the website, there's a way that we could donate to your cause. Is that correct? I just need your website right now.
okay. Our website is mothersagainstviolence.org.
That's
And
spelled
then
out. That's spelled out the words Mothers Against
the
Violence.
whole word,
Okay.
Mothers Against Violence. Healing Ministry is not on there. So mothersagainstviolence.org. And then we have our email, MAVHM21 @gmail. And that's the initials of Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry.
Oh, got you. Okay.
And then we are on Google. Oh my God, we are all over Google. Phone numbers on there. Facebook page is Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry. And then also under Danata Royal.
Okay. So sharing your love with families who have lost a loved one to gun violence is really unheard of. Like people just don't do that. So that's what makes you so unique. You letting them know that they're not alone, and there's hope for peace in their lives. I really admire you for that. I know that's your part of your mission, and I think that's fantastic. Here is the question for you though, right? And this is for the listening and viewing audience. By supporting Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry, how would that help you? In other words, Danita, I'm asking you about your operation expenses. I know, like, none of this is free. I mean, like,
oh my goodness,
everything.
no.
Talk to us about your marketing, your website, your office space, and all that stuff.
So it's like I said, we are so unique, and I am more out in the community. And like, okay, say for instance, we have a box truck now. That's cost. I do big giveaways, free giveaways, right? So I do that, and that's at different parks, and and then I have some. I don't like to call them employees. I like to say volunteers, but I don't like to say volunteers. So I pay. I do gift cards. To say all that, yes, we need funding. We cannot do this because everything that we do, I put out more. I do gift cards, I do food, we do. I don't like to say I because I have a team.
Yes, understood.
A mother needs a light bill pay. It's so bright. I'm gonna put it like this. Say I had like a $80,000 grant. It wasn't enough because I need a team. I need people to go into. I have a team, mothers who needs to find the support group. We have a support group.
Right.
So there's so much that we do for us within a home. The siblings, what do they need? Do they need clothing? Do they need school supplies? We do book bag giveaways. We give out so much, but it's a blessing that I have some of my community partners, a couple of churches that help support Mothers Against Violence. But we are so unique. I don't make it a big criteria to get. Like some of the community centers, you got to feel like this, you got to feel like that, and it's just in other words, I just try to be humble and depend on God. How about that?
Right, there you go. And I like the way you put that because
it do, and everybody focus on it, and I do.
So Danita, let me say this. Let me make something very clear. I'm the one that's asking about the funding because if you're a nonprofit organization, there are people who will listen to this conversation that writes grants. There are people who might be able to help us, and I say us, right?
Yes.
Because what you're doing is extremely positive.
Yes,
extremely
it is.
positive. So just so I'll make the announcement that we need help. We need financial help. If there's anybody out there that's listening to this that can write grants, that can help with the grants or anything
Hopefully.
that would help Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry, it will be
Definitely.
greatly appreciated. Now that
Yeah.
takes me to the healing ministry. Now, Danita, right? You know, I've called you Benita about 4 times. You never corrected me.
But
Your name,
that's not Nita. That's the other mother who rides with me.
oh,
You gonna
got you.
meet her.
So, right. So I was calling you, so it's the Donita. It's not Donita, it's Donita. Oh,
Yes.
goodness. Okay. All right. All right. Listen. So let me ask you this. Tell us about your ministry. Now, I have a question, right? So what does the ministry provide? Well, I'll let you tell us about that for the families and the uncharted territories that people are facing.
Okay, so we and I already talked about what we do and what we give out, right? But my main purpose is to part of the healing. Part of the healing, it takes the barrier off of giving, right?
Mm-hmm.
That takes the mother mind off of I gotta pay this light bill, I gotta go to work. So that's a start there for healing because you don't have that on your mind for right now, right?
Got you. Understood.
Then you come in and then you got to build trust, okay? And then you build when you bring other mothers in with the same pain and then kind of talking about it, that's part of healing. But the main thing that I would like to see, there's a purpose for your pain. We all got purpose,
Yes.
okay? I believe in serving others. We do a lot of community events. With me, part of my healing, because I didn't want to lose my character, my personality, I didn't want to lose my social, and that was a choice. I love helping people. I always love helping people. It just it went to another level now. And so the more I'm out in the community, the more I'm out going here, the more I'm out serving others, the more I'm out serving mothers, and they come back to me and they feel better, they feel good about themselves, and then they got someone to understand their pain.
Wow.
So that's part of it. And then you got to put, I'm gonna say it, you got to have the spiritual side.
Right.
You got to have I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing because this thing is bigger than me. It's not, I can't do it without God.
Right.
So part of that's one of the main things is serving others. We are here on this earth to serve others. So if you had tragic trauma of losing your child to take you to find your purpose in life, that's what that's the healing part. And it's a
Mm,
choice.
powerful. Powerful. Well, you know what? I will say this to you, right? I will say this to you that I have on a short sleeve shirt, right? And you know how they say you get goosebumps and chill bumps? Well, I'm getting them right now, Danita. I'm just telling you, okay? I'm getting them. So listen to me, my sister. I need it again. I need to hear your email address, Facebook account, all that stuff. I need to hear it again. And let me tell you why I'm pushing this because I really feel that. So I had a loved one that was lost by gun violence, right?
Yeah.
And I know
Yes.
the impact that it had on the entire family 10 years ago. And it still affects us today. So I will do everything I can on this platform. And by the way, this conversation will be posted on my website, embracethechange.net. And feel free to share that with anybody because once they see what your goals are, maybe they don't know exactly all the things that you need and all the things that you do. And I ain't finished with you yet because I got some other things I want to talk about. But please tell me what your website again is.
Okay. It's mothersagainstviolence.org,
Right?
one word. And then Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry is the MAVHM 21 at Gmail. That's the email.
Right.
And then Facebook is Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry. And we
Okay.
all over Google.
Good. Now finally, I got to ask you about your family fund. You already went over this. I know you did, but I
Mm-hmm.
just want you to touch on it. And one of the things I haven't talked about much is what really got you to this point. I don't want to, maybe another conversation, we could talk about that. But for tonight, I just want to concentrate on your organization and how we can, as collectively a community of Black people, support each other and try to help stop and stem some of this violence that we face all the time. And we're
Yes.
getting tired of it. And so maybe this healing ministry and people see what you're doing. As a matter of fact, I have an apology to make, right? A confession and apology. I did a podcast show and I was doing it with my new co-host, Mimi Brown from WDAS FM. And I told her about you, and I told her what I wanted to do is get 2 or 3 other women together and do a panel discussion, right? And I was telling her all that, and I said they were it wasn't Mothers Against Violence. I used something else. It might have been Mothers. I forgot what I said, but it wasn't Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry. So
Mm-hmm.
I said another name. I meant your name, right? That was a mistake. So I'm just telling you, in case you listen to that interview,
It's okay.
in
It's
case you
okay.
hear that, right? I'm just letting you know that's what I was doing. But anyway, we have to somehow stem the violence, you know. But in the meantime, for those that have been victimized and that are victims, this is how we can help. Things that you're doing is phenomenal. Now, tell us real briefly about your family fund, please. You already talked about it a little bit, but I just need the people to hear it one more time.
So our family fund, we help with barriers, utility bills, mortgage payments. We go to the funerals and take the mother flowers, or we'll send flowers to the funeral home. We do food, we we do clothing, we do school supplies, uh, everyday living, everyday living that you need. That's what we do.
Right. Okay.
We do that every day that you need. That's what we do. And for us, food, water, um, whatever. Say if you want to go to a repast, what do you take?
You don't take anything, right?
To a repast.
Oh,
When they
to
do,
repass, right, right,
flowers and when we go into our homes, and that's really special to me because I think that's the more touchy thing when a mother open their doors to you into their home in our community. That's a big thing. And so when you go in, you got to be able to build trust, and then you got the remaining siblings who's going through. So we take blessing baskets, okay, and
okay,
we take food, cupcakes, and in our blessing baskets we have dish liquid, we have cleaning supplies, we have toilet paper, we have a journal, we have we have toilet paper, we have hand soap, we got all these things in a plaque that you can keep, for whenever something good, encouraging plaque. Because people don't think about them things when you go into a home and you got
right,
all this going on. So it's called blessing baskets. And that's what one of my most I can do the funeral, the homicide, the visuals, but to get into that home, that's the only thing that I really love doing because you're getting that touch, you're
right.
getting that prayer, you're getting that mother be able to open up and feel comfortable. You ain't even got to ask no questions of what happened to her child. She's gonna open up to you. So
Wow,
to get in the homes, not, and that's why I think that that's where you can curve violence, prevent violence, getting into the homes. And I know for a fact we had touched a mother from committing suicide or wanting to commit suicide. She lost 2 sons, a nephew, had one incarcerated. She was outdone.
she was done.
So
Wow,
we men, guess what?
you changed everything.
Changed everything.
Mm. Well, Danita, I got 2 more things to ask you. What kind of videos do you have on your website? Is that videos of your like Thanksgiving giveaways and stuff like that?
Oh yes, I got some yeah, I have I have the Thanksgiving video. We have our yearly 8 years We up to 9 years for our anniversary. We used to do a big thing every
Okay.
Christmas. We haven't been able to do that. And then I just got different video. The video with the mayor. There's a commercial on there on the website.
Okay, with the mayor. Okay, okay, okay.
IMPD, we are so involved with our community and with the city. And so that's what's on there. And things that we go and hug a mother. Mothers, yeah.
Well,
We like to have fun.
well, it sounds like it really does. So we're running out of time. I just had maybe one other question I could ask you, and maybe so. What I like to do, I try to be slick, right? I try to ask you a question I know you can't answer tonight, which will make you have to come back, and you can come back, and we can have another conversation, right? So I would like to get you back on my show again. But let me tell you what the question is: Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry, and the key word here is mothers. Right now, I already told you what I felt, and I agree with Dick Gregory about the Black churches and the mothers being the most powerful forces on earth. I believe that in my heart because I've seen it in my lifetime. I've seen it in my lifetime. But what about the men? Like you talked about Mothers Against Violence, but do you have a lot of men that might work with you or help you out, or are they in existence?
I have tried that. It's been kind of struggle, but we do have a men's group, Iron Sharper Iron, and it's on the shelf. It's gonna come back down, and we have tried to do the men's group, and it's just kind of been hard to get the men to come out. So it's kind of there. I had one man that I'm gonna tell you this right quick. I had one man whose son who got killed to gun violence from home invasion, and he came and written me. He was out there, and he had written, and he tried to do the men's group and stuff too, but he ended up passing.
Oh man.
So after that, we tried to do another men's, but it's not over. It's
Okay.
not. I got a few fathers that talks to me.
So Danita, so would it be fair for me to assume that you'll come back and talk about how your plans are trying to get more men involved? Because I think that part of what's missing is that if you don't have a family structure with both parents, mother and father, and a lot of these parents are single mother households that I know of personally, where a lot of the violence occurs. If we can figure out what the role the men are playing or not playing, maybe that could make a difference. Would you come back and talk to me about that?
Yes, and I will have some strategies too.
Okay, right on. Right on. That's what I was.
Try to give it to me.
Yes, that's what I was hoping you would say. And so with that being said, I would like to say Happy New Year to you. I really, really appreciate you. And by the way, to the viewing and listening audience, I do know personally that Danita Royal does a lot of interviews all the time. And she took the time out tonight to sit down and talk with me about her healing ministry, Mothers Against Violence Healing Ministry. So with that being said, I will tell you how much I appreciate that. You just got to understand what you've done for our listening and viewing audience, and hopefully it'll make a difference going forward, that some people would take this and understand that, wow, I can help in some kind of way, some fashion. If they don't want to do it themselves, then help you and let you continue to help everybody else. With that being said, Danita, I love you. Thank you so much. And good night. And you said you was going to come back, so you will hear from me again. Okay?
All right. Thank you for having me. God bless you.
Thank you so much.